Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashlyn here. So I'm going through my Kindle and I came across my People magazine for my Kindle Unlimited that I get, and I came across a story that I wanted to share with you. It says I want to read it to you. So these are not like my words or anything like that. I just want to discuss this. It grasped my attention a little bit, and it kind of goes with Entertainment Friday in a way. So, yeah. Anyway, it says she escaped a serial killer, then helped catch him. I get to take my power back. The message I give people is that some days are hard, but we can still say, I'm strong, I'm going to keep going. This is about a chick named Kara. When she was 15, she got taken by a man in South Carolina. So I'm gonna read this to you. I don't know why I keep trying to show it to you. I mean, it's not like it's gonna clear up or anything, but kind of, yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and just read this. Just like a quick little video, it grasped my attention. Maybe it'll grasp yours, especially if you're a fan of Serail or Sherilyn Dale. So yeah, let's get into it. And excuse my attire. I actually walked today. Before I get into this, I woke up at like 5:30 in the afternoon. I was up until about 8 a.m. today, and then I finally fell asleep. Ignored that. But I finally fell asleep at around about 8:30 in the morning. The night before, I had woken up at 7 or 8 p.m. So I had been up for quite a while. I woke up at 5:30 today, and I was like, you know what? It's still nice out. It was still like 75 degrees out this way. Felt fantastic. So I was able to put on this and some leggings, like some capri leggings at that, and I decided to go for a walk. I ended up walking around town a little bit, and then I made my way to the library to drop some stuff off and pick up more stuff because I can't go into the library without picking up books, even though I have like a massive stack. And I'm currently in a reading slump right now, so I don't know what I'm doing. And upon walking home, I stopped at the park and like I swung on a swing for a little bit, which I haven't done in a long time. And then I also grabbed myself a Taco Bell. So that was my reward for the day. And now I'm sitting here watching Hulu. I'm watching Who is Killing the Cheerleaders on Hulu. It's a Lifetime movie. And I'm reading my magazine on my Kindle Unlimited app. And I came across this. So it says, at 15, Kara Robinson Chamberlain was abducted and raped by a predator who had murdered 3 girls, but she saved herself and ended his killing spree. Now she gives assault survivors hope. This is by Marc, Peyser, and Christine Pelisek. That's probably totally butchered, but this is their article in the People magazine. So, some days a terror overtakes her when she least expects it, and she finds herself gasping for breath. Something as simple as securing her face mask before heading into Costco or pulling a blanket up over her face in bed on a chilly night can plunge Kara Robinson Chamberlain back into a 20-year-old nightmare. 18 hours of torture at the hands of a sadistic killer and trigger a full-blown panic attack. You know it's all in your head that you're safe, but your body doesn't know that. She says, I have to shake myself out of it and say, stop, Kara. What she needs in order to feel safe or find peace can change every day for Kara, now 35. It's been that way since June 24th, 2002, when the then 15-year-old was abducted from the front yard of a friend's house in West Columbia, South Carolina, by 38-year-old Richard Ivanitz, who had kidnapped and killed 3 girls in Virginia. Through her powers of observation and her determined self-preservation, Kara managed to survive, escape, and identify Ivanitz to authorities. He killed himself as police closed in. Forever changed by her ordeal, she wants her experience to help others. Now she shares her story with law enforcement officers, students, and assault survivors and hopes it will save and change lives. We all experience hard things, but we get to decide where we go from there, Kara says. Am I going to continue to let this thing define me? Or say, you know what? Something bad did happen, but now I get to be my own victor. I get to take my power back. In June 2002, Kara was a sophomore at White Knoll High School, an only child and all-around happy kid. I rode go-karts and horses and dirt bikes. I was a tomboy for sure. She was learning how to drive, so she wasn't interested in the sporty Trans Am that drove past her friend's house while she was outside watering the bushes. When it pulled into the driveway and a guy, late 30s, about 5'10" and 200 pounds, wearing jeans, a button-down shirt, and a baseball cap, got out to offer some pamphlets, she was unconcerned. He did not look scary in any way that set off alarms, Kara says. Suddenly, the man pulled out a gun, pressed it to her neck, and forced her into a large storage bin. It was like those plastic containers you store Christmas ornaments in, Kara says, that was stowed on the back seat of the car. To muffle her screams, he later put a gag in her mouth and tied it around her head. I felt like I couldn't breathe, like I was suffocating. As Ivanovich drove Kara to his apartment, she began counting the turns he made, in hopes of finding her way home again. She noticed details. He was listening to a classic rock station and smoking Marlboro Red cigarettes. She even memorized the serial number on the inside of the plastic container that he had forced her to kneel inside. My survival mechanism said, all right, let's gather as much information as we can. Fear barely even kicked in. Whoa. At 15, though? I guess? When they got to his cluttered apartment, home to hamsters, a lizard, and a guinea pig, he let her out of the bin though he kept a pearl-handled revolver or a knife near him at all times. Kara remembers that it was about 1 p.m. when he asked about her family and her boyfriend, carefully writing down her answers in a legal pad before assaulting her. He forced her to smoke marijuana and watch pornography with him, and despite being terrorized, she tried to find ways to keep him calm. When he wanted her to have some food, I said, well, I am not going to eat right now, but is there anything I can do for you? I actually ended up sweeping his kitchen. That kind of manipulation, says Sheriff Leon Lott of Richland County, South Carolina, may have helped save her life. She was just putting him at ease and making him feel comfortable, gaining his trust, and that's what police negotiators do. She controlled her emotions to the point where she was able to develop a plan. That's insane. At around 2 a.m., he slapped a pair of black handcuffs covered with fake fur on her wrists and secured them to the bed frame using a circular clamp tightened by a screw connected to a rope. He put her right leg in a leather cuff and attached it to the foot of the bed. He also made her take a sleeping pill. She woke up around dawn. Ivanitz was still asleep. And I said, okay, this is it. I always assumed it would be when he was asleep that I would escape. She says she unscrewed the clamp fastened to her handcuffs with her teeth, then unclipped the leg restraint. She slid out of bed, tiptoed to the door, and quietly unbolted the 2 locks, all the while worried she'd wake Ivanovich. I knew he has the gun right beside him, and he's going to see me running, and he's going to shoot me in the back. That's all I could think. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter, because I'm out, and at least someone will be able to find him. My body was scared, but my brain was like, okay, we're just about business. We're doing this. She got out the door and flagged down 2 men in the parking lot and asked them to take her to the police, but not before taking one last risk. I turned around and said to myself, remember that apartment? At the station, still wearing the handcuffs on one wrist, she told the first officer she saw, I'm Kara Robinson. I was kidnapped and I escaped. He asked her a few questions before calling her mother. Ma'am, he said, we have your daughter. Kara could hear her mom on the line. Kara? You have Kara? Kara got on the phone and said, Mom, come get me. And she replied, I'm coming, baby. I'll be there. She refused to be the victim. She would not let Ivanovich win. Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott. The reunion at the hospital was understandably emotional. My dad's very stoic, and as soon as I turned the corner, he looked up and made eye contact with me. He stood up and walked toward me and just gave me this great big hug. Oh, wow. 6 weeks after Ivanovich's death, the FBI held a news conference, August 13, 2002, in Spotsylvania County, Virginia, to detail the evidence proving that Kara's abductor was the same man who had killed 3 girls there in the 1990s. Holy crap. Investigators asked Kara if she would be up to driving back to Ivanova's residence, the apartment building she made a point to never forget. When they arrived, Ivanovas was gone, but the animals and the clutter were still there, as was something she hadn't noticed in his bedroom, a locked footlocker. As authorities pried it open, they were stunned to find multiple newspaper clippings on the unsolved murders of 3 girls, Sophia Silva and sisters Katie and Kristen Lisk, in Spotsylvania County, Virginia, more than 5 years before Kara's abduction. I don't care how tough you are as a cop, when you see something like that, it grabs you. At that point, bells really went off in our heads that we just didn't have a kidnapping of Kara Robinson. This was something else. This was actually a serial killer. After 16-year-old Sophia Silva disappeared from her front stoop in the Laurel Park neighborhood of Spotsylvania County on September 9, 1996, the community went into lockdown. A month later, her decomposing body was found tied with a rope and wrapped in a blanket in a local creek. With the killer on the loose nearby, the Lisk family had been particularly worried. They put a security system into their home and instructed daughters Kristen, 15, and Katie, 12, to never open the door to anyone. The sisters had just arrived home from school on May 1st, 1997, when they were abducted. Their parents found a book bag on the front lawn and a glass of chocolate milk in the kitchen. 5 days later, the girls were found dead, dumped in the South Anna River. Though investigators obtained hair and fiber evidence in the crimes, the cases remained open, frustrating authorities and haunting the victims' families. It wasn't until Ivanovas abducted Kara in South Carolina that police had their suspect in the Virginia murders. Hair and fibers from those crime scenes matched items in Ivanovas' house, and chillingly, police later found 2 of Kristen's fingerprints inside the trunk of a car Ivanovas drove while living in Spotsylvania County. Authorities also discovered that the serial killer was a married air compressor sales and repairman whose wife was visiting Disney World in Orlando with his mom when he'd kidnapped Kara. Police tracked Ivanovas to Sarasota, Florida, in a high-speed highway chase there ended with when he ran over spike strips placed by police and then was attacked by a police dog. With authorities steps away, Ivanovas shot himself. I was mad, really mad. I wanted to sit in the courtroom across from him. I wanted him to look me in the eye and show that I was his downfall, that choosing me was the biggest mistake he ever made in his life. I wanted that vindication. Ooh. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand that. To make them have that vindication that, motherfucker, yeah, I took you down. You know, that type of thing. You got taken down by a 15-year-old because he was like, I don't know. That's just, I get where she's coming from, but I'm really happy he killed himself in the long run, because if he would have been found, like, not guilty or something, or he would have been given parole or something like that, he probably would have come back for her, because she's the one that got away alive. Her vindication would come differently. Virginia police gave Kara the $150,000 reward money for the capture of the person responsible for killing Sophia, Katie, and Kristen. She's just an amazing kid, says Jared Downs, a retired FBI profiler who served on the Lisk Silva task force. People said, you guys did a great job. Hey, if not for Kara, that guy's still out there. Encouraged by Sheriff Lott, who became her mentor after working on her case, Kara pursued a career in law enforcement. She worked as a school resource officer and later an investigator on child abuse and sexual assault cases. Her husband, Joe Chamberlain, was also deputy sheriff for the county, and they have 2 children, Colton, 8, and Carter, 5. Busy at home with her boys now, one day she hopes to investigate other unknown victims connected to Ivanovas. It is my gut belief that he was responsible for more than the 3 murders we know about. I'm still in the process of compiling information. I needed to tell my story in a way I was so proud of. Meantime, Kara, who worked with kidnapping survivor Elizabeth Smart to make the documentary Escaping Captivity, the Kara Robinson story for Oxygen, released last year, keeps sharing her story with purpose. I just want to help people by using this hard thing I went through, and the memory of the victims who didn't make it out alive is poignantly close to her heart. Patty, Liz, Katie, and Kristen's mother gave me a charm bracelet with 4 charms on it, a charm for Katie, for Kristen, for Sophia, and for me. I still have it. Now I'm a mother, and I just think of what that must have meant to them for me to be here. Oh. In May 2010, when Kara met Joe Chamberlain with sons Colton, Left, and Carter in 2018, I pretty much knew instantly we'd marry. I had finally gotten to where I was happy being myself. She's got a beautiful family. I don't know if you can really see that. She's gorgeous. Growing up in Lexington, South Carolina, age 14, took AP classes and liked to hang out with friends. We all felt pretty safe. She was just a typical teen. Milestone memories. Parents always told me I was 13 going on 30. Wow. I love driving go-karts and tomboy stuff. She she rediscovered her love of driving fast at the police academy. June 27, 2002, Ivanovitz was seen tracked to Sarasota, Florida. The police chased him down a highway and used spike strips to force him to stop his car. He was then attacked by a police dog and fatally shot himself. It took almost 6 years to track down serial killer Richard Ivanovitz. Jeez. The car, oh my gosh, you just use like a cheap Wish handcuff and leather set. I just broke them bitches. No offense. She was still wearing the handcuffs and holding the leg restraint that Ivanovitz used on her. 12 and 15-year-old sisters, Katie and Kristen. May 1st, 1997. The List girls always phoned their dad when they got home from school, but between the time they got off the bus around 3 p.m. and when their father got home around 4 p.m., they were gone. An FBI agent at the List's grave. Oh my gosh. Sophia Silva, 16, abducted off of her front porch September 9th, 1996. She got home from school and told her sister she was going to do her homework on the front step. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. Wow. Kara began working part-time at the sheriff's department while still in high school. I feel like I grew up there. After helping solve the Virginia murders, Kara, with victim Sophia Silva's mom, Phyllis, left in 2010, kept in touch with Sophia's family. There she is as a police officer. Like, she really did go on to be a police officer, law enforcement. You can't really see it. Shared her story. Kidnapping survivor Elizabeth Smart inspired Kara in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, October 2021 to keep speaking out. I realized I had a bigger purpose. That is amazing. Okay, like to have that happen to you and to sit there and actually become an advocate for other women who have survived. That is absolutely amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was just this thing that I came across and it was like really eye-opening and stuff. Started reading it until I got to like the part where she like she turned him in basically and they started chasing him and that's it. But yeah, you don't see that every day, so it was something I wanted to personally share with you guys. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I'm sorry that this video wasn't much of anything that you were thinking it would be. I'm probably going to do another video here in a little bit after this, especially after this movie ends, because it just got to the part where I fell asleep earlier. So hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!